Hi, I'm Shannon.
And I'm Julie.
And today we are discussing wheatgrass juice. And yes, it's exactly as it sounds, simply grass juice. Although touted as a superfood by many in the raw food movement, in particular by those who sell it, all of its supposed benefits can be disproven by simple reductive logic, basic scientific literacy, and a little bit of chemistry.
But before we can discuss something, we must first define it.
Yes, in this instance we are discussing the liquid extracted from the pulverization of Triticum aestivum, or the common wheat. Wheat is of course a grass, differing from other grasses in its domestication and presence of a large ear of seeds, chocked full of nutrition. Wheatgrass is specifically the immature plant prior to the formation of the seeds and does not differ significantly from other grasses at that stage.
So yes, the grass that grows in your yard is pretty much the same thing. The price of fresh wheatgrass served in a shot glass of juice bar is about $2.80 per ounce. If you buy it frozen, you can enjoy this grassy beverage in your own home for $1.80 per ounce. You can also get a little bit cheaper if you buy it powdered, 83 cents a shot, or you can buy a nifty little kit that will allow you to cultivate your own grass for about $20.
Now let's do a bit of math. According to the literature, you can expect to produce approximately 8 ounces of wheatgrass juice for 1 square foot of soil. If my yard is 1 acre, which is 43,560 square feet, I throw away almost $1 million worth of grass juice every time I mow. And that's $975,744 to be precise. Of course, that's retail.
So, what is this stuff supposed to do anyway? According to its proponents, it does everything short of raising the dead.
A particular favorite is this bit from Dr. Ann Wigmore in her wheatgrass book. When used as a rectal implant, wheatgrass reverses damage from inside the lower bough. An implant is a small amount of juice held in the lower bough for about 20 minutes. In the case of illness, wheatgrass implants stimulate a rapid cleansing of the lower bough and draw out accumulation of debris.
Did I hear you right?
That's what she said. It is worth noting that Dr. Wigmore is not a medical doctor at all. Dr. Wigmore is worth examining since she, above all others, is responsible for the creation of the wheatgrass juice industry. Ann Wigmore put the doctor in her name in 1959 when she became a graduate of the wholly non-accredited College of Divine Metaphysics, Indianapolis, Indiana. That year she received no less than 3 doctorates. One can become each in divinity, metaphysics, and psychology. And for those of you interested, you too can become a graduate of this fine institute. It will only cost you a few $100s, and note that your thesis only has to be 300 words long.
And
online courses are available.
Most of the claims as to the power of wheatgrass juice can be traced back to Wigmore. She effectively founded the raw food movement in the 1960s as an adjunct to her role as leader of the rising Southern Christianity cult. Though initially pushed by scientist Charles Schnabel in the 1930s, wheatgrass juice had little presence until Wigmore began her particular crusade. Over and over again, in advertising, you see Wigmore's claims made verbatim. Let's examine a few of these claims.
Number 1, wheatgrass juice provides energy. Now this is a pretty basic claim, and it's true on a basic level. All food items contain energy, which is measured in calories. It is chemically impossible for a food to provide energy beyond its caloric value. Your standard 1 ounce serving of wheatgrass juice contains between 5 and 20 calories, depending on the relative chunkiness of the blend. This is enough energy to warm up a cup of coffee about 7/10 of a degree Celsius, or enough energy for you to just walk across the room. Number 2, chlorophyll. Many of the miracle powers attributed to wheatgrass juice revolve around chlorophyll. This is usually followed by a comparison of the molecular structure of chlorophyll and hemoglobin, and claims that they are effectively the same. Chlorophyll and hemoglobin are different, not only in chemical composition, but in structure and in function. They couldn't possibly be any more different. Now, chlorophyll is great stuff. It makes plants an absinthe green and stains children sneeze. It makes all life on Earth possible by being a part of the photosynthetic process by which electromagnetic energy from our sun enters the ecosystem. It does not, however, do much for you if you eat it. The USDA actually does not consider chlorophyll to be a food item since it has no nutritional value in terms of caloric load or much in the way of trace elements. Wheatgrass proponents give much lip service to the presence of magnesium in chlorophyll, since it is the core atom that chlorophyll is built on. Dietary magnesium is necessary for good health, but when we compare published amounts of magnesium for wheatgrass juice to the USDA requirements, we find something rather amusing. Wheatgrass juice is a terrible source of magnesium. In fact, you would need 50 1-ounce servings of wheatgrass juice to meet the requirements, and that would cost $140 a day. That's retail. Number 3, wheatgrass builds the blood. This statement is thrown around a great deal, but it's never said exactly what that means. In fact, if you do a Google search for building the blood, the first link is to the website of the late Edgar Cayce, a psychic extraordinaire. Since he died in 1945 and wasn't educated past the 9th grade, we are going to invalidate him as a dietary critic.
Building the blood is a term sometimes used in the aftermath of chemotherapy or in treatment of diseases that depress the immune system. In this usage, it means an attempt to increase white blood cell counts to normal levels.
One of the only clinical studies ever done on wheatgrass juice took place in Nahahi Subhash Chandra Bose Cancer Research Institute in Calcutta, India. There are several very suspicious things going on here. While the study effective wheatgrass juice is in supportive care of terminally ill cancer patients, a tertiary cancer center experience from India was published in an oncological journal, in which we find some strangeness in this abstract. In it, several statements about the medicinal properties of wheatgrass are made as if they were empirical truth, when in fact they are wholly unsupported by any sort of research and fly in the face of reason. Particularly glaring is the statement that chlorophyll cleanses the blood by improving the supply of oxygen to the circulatory system. I would really like to understand the mechanism by which this takes place, since we both use our lungs to breathe.
In this study, 400 post-chemotherapy, terminally ill cancer patients, all with depressed blood counts, were given a diet containing wheatgrass juice in an attempt to improve quality of life and eliminate the need for blood transfusion. Of the sample, 50 needed to have transfusion anyway and were disregarded.
Every one of the remaining patients had some level of improvement in blood health, but this is logical since the causative agent for the low blood counts, the chemotherapy, had stopped. The study proves nothing, and the fact that the abstract reads like an ad copy for the Ann Wigmore Institute is doubly suspicious. It is worth mentioning only because of its uniqueness and constant references to wheatgrass advertising.